Those aren't your real parents. You were kidnapped and missing the past
Oh. Alright guys, what's going on, man? What's going on? Sorry if I sound like I'm not energetic. Trust me, I am. I want to rest, but I'm not tired at the same time. 5 is some change in the morning, bro. I'm not even tired, bro. I think I have insomnia. Honestly, there's something wrong with me. But no cap, you guys already know what time it is, bro. We're gonna start up another series. This one is 20 horror stories animated, November to December 2019, bro. Let's do it, man.
Side, perfecting my tan for the start of school next month. Mom was in the kitchen cooking her famous fettuccine alfredo, and Dad was on the way home with a movie from Redbox. My life was perfect, but everything was about to change with the arrival of a new neighbor next door. He was a former police officer, probably mid-50s.
I told y'all boys not to trust these ex-cops, bro. Have y'all not seen Narcos?
And talkative. Initially, he seemed like a good fit
Y'all
for
getting
the
me
neighborhood.
hot.
He was cordial, always made an effort to wave or say hi, and the presence of someone with a law enforcement background provided a sense of security. But everything began to unravel quickly, and the catalyst seemed to be me. My neighbor took a sudden and keen interest in me. Whenever I went outside, I could feel his eyes examining me. He would always wander over and try to start conversations with me, but as soon as he heard or saw my parents, he would leave. He asked me if I had any social media accounts. When I lied and said no, he asked if he could take a picture of me and proceeded to snap a pic before I could reply.
Where's Chris Hansen?
I felt completely unnerved and frightened about his intentions for me. For all I knew, that we could have a murderer or pedophile living a mere feet from our home. I knew I had to delve deeper. So one night, I aimed my telescope at his window, and what I saw only amplified the alarm bells going off in my head.
He's stalking her for real,
The man was fixated on the picture of me on his phone, and I could even see a small stack of photos on his nightstand, a young girl's image on top. My blood ran cold, as this all but confirmed my fear. He must be a pedophile. The next night, I saw him sneakily rummaging through our trash can. I watched in horror and disbelief as he removed my
tampons. Oh, you nasty, bro.
Got into his car and sped off in the night. This was the final straw. I knew that in the morning, I would have to alert my parents and get in contact with the police. And next morning, I awoke to the sound of police sirens and a loud commotion downstairs.
Damn,
I hopped out of bed and saw my parents being taken away in handcuffs.
I
started screaming and crying as I rushed towards the door, but I was stopped by the neighbor. With a horrified expression, he muttered, "I'm so sorry. Those aren't your real parents. You were kidnapped and missing the past 14 years.
Shit.
DNA test confirmed it."
It was on Friday night. I was finishing the last deliveries that I worked for.
What the fuck?
I was headed to the bar that I would usually go to every night to grab a glass of wine. I noticed there was a new bar that had recently opened, a kilometer away from the usual bar. So I decided to try it out. When I arrived and pushed the entrance door, I noticed something very weird. There were only 5 people inside.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this
costumes,
fucking new story,
like
bro.
Vampire, ghost, werewolf, witch, and black magician.
That was crazy.
I felt really uncomfortable because I was the only ordinary person there, and also because Halloween was over 2 days ago. I was still awkwardly standing there blocking the entrance when all of a sudden, all the people started staring at me as if I had done something terribly wrong.
What you do, bro?
I made
Maybe because you don't have a
walk
costume
over to
on,
the
bro.
bartender.
Come on now.
The bartender looked almost like a real executioner. He asked me rudely in a gruff voice, "What do you want to sacrifice? Blood
These
or
nuts?"
Well, that creeped the hell out of me. But I thought this was his way of taking a Halloween order of alcohol. So I requested to him, 1 glass of blood, please." He turned
You
around,
nasty, bro.
grabbed a
Get that
water bottle,
Heineken,
and
dog.
poured it into a wine glass. Later, he opened a drawer and took out a black satanic pentagram necklace. He dipped the necklace 3 times while muttering something into my drink. To my surprise, the wine turned black in color. And
That's
he
not
placed the
even
glass
Bud.
on the table and told me to drink it in 1 shot. I was really thirsty at that moment, so I took
That's
the
not
glass
even what you
and
ordered,
drank it
fam.
completely. It was
You
quite
literally
strong,
got roofied,
and my
bro.
vision was slowly starting to blur.
You deserve that, honestly, bro.
I paid the bartender and left the bar immediately. While I was walking, I started to feel dizzy, and my vision was worsening. I wasn't focused on where I was going, as my mind was in a vision of all the faces of all the people I saw in that bar, maniacally laughing and giggling at me. All of a sudden, I had already arrived home during my vision. At first, I was relieved. But when I closed the door behind me and turned around, I knew that I was in the wrong house.
You dumb.
It was completely abandoned, cold, gloomy, and barely lit with the rays of moonlight. I tried to open the door, but it was totally locked. Right when I was going to run into the door to break it, I heard the upper wooden ceiling was creaking, as if someone was up there walking slowly, step by step. I was really afraid, as I had no weapon to protect myself. I tried to call 911, but had no reachable service to call.
It's always
My
either
only
no
option was
service
to go
or
upstairs and find my
someone
way
cut
out.
the line.
I carefully
It's always
walked
something.
upstairs and reached the top. To my left was a dead end, but to my right, I saw a hallway with 3
Watch
doors
the
on each side.
executioner be there.
I opened the doors one by one to find nothing but dark, empty rooms and no way to escape. Finally, when I
Brother,
opened the
that's
6th
not a
door,
good idea, dog.
I saw
You're
a
off that
pentagram was drawn
roofie,
on the
bro.
floor with 5 candles around.
Are you sure
touching
you
all
want to do
5
that?
corners of the star. This sent me back to where the bartender dipped a necklace with the same symbol into my drink. And there was a figure floating vertically right above the symbol below. But the light provided by the candles was not enough for me to figure out what was floating. Accidentally, I dropped my phone on the old wooden floor, which created a loud sound. The figure was slowly advancing to my direction. I quickly backed off and hit my head against a wall behind. That figure, I can't forget it.
What was it?
My body was completely paralyzed when I saw that the
I knew
same
it.
bartender at the bar was this guy. He was still dressed as an executioner and faced my powerless body. To make matters worse, the doors of the empty room started opening on their own, one by one, and out came all of the 5 people I saw at the
I
bar.
told this man.
They were all laughing at me to the point I passed
And he's
out.
off that roof. Look at that.
And
He
I
done
heard
for.
sirens.
That's it. Who knows what happened to him?
Then I woke up and realized that I was in a hospital. I asked one of the nurses what was going on. She told me that a group of teenagers saw me walking out of the forest and then walking to the abandoned house. They tried calling out to me, but I didn't respond, nor look at them. Then the group saw me entering the house, and when they tried to open the door, it was locked.
Damn.
And so they called 911 thinking that I was trapped in
That
the
boy
house.
got clapped, bro. No
30
cap.
minutes later, the police staff arrived and broke open the
Yep.
door and found me unconscious lying on the floor. They brought me into the hospital and were trying to investigate what had happened in that abandoned house.
Look at homeboy. He nosy.
Later, I told police officers the whole story when they came to ask, but they didn't seem to believe me. While some of them were laughing,
Shit.
thinking that
I would
was
laugh at
making
you
it up.
too, dog. That was something stupid.
After that, I went home and directly went to sleep. The next morning, I hurried to the bathroom because I had to vomit very badly. And after I did, I noticed that my vomit was black. To forget things, I tried taking a cold shower. And when I was showering, I felt a sharp sting on my back.
I
Then,
told
when I
him,
changed the
bro.
water temperature from cold to warm, the sting started to feel even more painful. I turned back with my head, barely making it to see behind. Then I was shocked for life.
That boy got
I had
branded.
the same satanic
Mhm.
pentagram carved on my back, which was surely done by a sharp object. From then on, I never went to a bar again.
Nah, it wasn't that. It's just your ass got roofied.
My name is Kate. I'm 22 years old, and about 3 years ago, I got a job working at Sam's Club. My best friend,
Sorry,
Mimi,
the voice
who
just
worked there
doesn't
before
go
me,
with
was
the
the one who
animation,
suggested that I
bro.
apply there. Her job was to work on the cash register. Mine was to stock shelves and keep certain areas tidy. One day, a young man entered the store and started to make conversation with me. I would say he was around 25 years old. After some friendly chit-chat, he eventually said that I looked like a model.
He
And he
trying
has
to sauce,
contacts within
bro.
modeling
This man
agencies.
trying to sauce.
Honestly, I didn't believe a word he said. He was nice, but I wasn't about to fall for this. After many attempts of trying to persuade me to go with him to meet somewhere, to meet some contacts, he eventually gave up. He didn't leave the store, however, because about 5 minutes later I noticed him talking to Mimi as she was working on the cash register. I was hoping
And
she
she
wouldn't
did.
fall for it, but unfortunately she did. At the end of
Typical,
our
bro.
shift, we spoke about what the guy had said, and Mimi really believed that the guy could get her modeling gigs. I told her not to meet him, and she said she wouldn't. About a week later, she didn't turn up to work.
Damn. Come
and
on,
wasn't
Mimi.
answering calls or
They
texts.
told you
In
not to
fact,
do it.
She kind of went missing. It was about a week until I finally heard from her.
Oh, shit.
She was in a hospital. Mimi had met up with the guy from the store. She wouldn't say what happened in detail, but what she did tell me was disturbing
What she
enough.
did? Take a kidney?
She met up with the guy from the store in a very old, rundown apartment. There were
Dog,
two
why
very
would you
large
even
men,
pull up there,
one
though,
skinny
bruh?
old guy. She was attacked. Two men drugged her, and she fell unconscious. And when she woke up, she was in extreme pain. The men she met up with knocked her out and took all of her belongings. The police said that she was lucky. I'm sorry that Mimi had to go through all of that, but thankfully she wasn't killed. But I'm glad it wasn't me that got lured into the man's sick plan.
All right, guys, we're going to stop it right there. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you if you made it to the end. Yeah, man, I think I honestly have insomnia or something. I really can't sleep. Like, I'm tired, bro, but I'm not sleepy. That's weird. So, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much, man. Tune in for part 2. Definitely got to finish this series. That first one, that second one, I think, or third one. I can't remember, honestly. But that one with the parents, bro, the one that it wasn't her real parents, that was crazy, bro. That thing, that honestly woke me up more, bro. No cap. But yeah, guys, thank you. Subscribe.